I'm calling it right now. This speech by Rishi Sunak is the start of the election campaign. So we're in the final furlong now. Of course, he hasn't named the date yet that we're having the election, but be under no illusion, it's not far away. So I want to say that Rishi Sunak has grown on me. I mean, some of you will have noticed this over the last few weeks. And I know what you're going to say, SJJ, you've been compromised, or, whoa, dude, you are a Tory boy after all, what the heck? I've seen all this in the comments from all of you. And the truth is, I don't know if I'm just the only Conservative left in the parking lot here, or if I'm just getting more sensible and pragmatic as I get older and more mature. But what I do know is that the rest of you are just swallowing hook, line and sinker absolutely trash analysis again from the dissident right. It's utter nonsense what they're feeding you, and this idea that if the Conservative Party is defeated, that they'll reform in some kind of vision of Enoch Powell and deliver you like right-wing nationalism on steroids. It's utter fucking nonsense. It's absolutely retarded. There's no reason to believe that that's true whatsoever. The most likelihood is that the right wing gets blamed for losing this election because currently we have Rishi Sunak pushing right wing. Yes, it's like kosher nationalism, centrist populism light, nationalism light, this kind of stuff. But it's much more than what we've had for the last decade. And these things are incremental adjustment. So what's most likely is that this brand of populist, right-wing leaning conservatism gets blamed, and the Conservative Party is rebuilt, moving back towards the centre, likely in under the leadership of David Cameron again. I've done a video about that. Link in the description as to why David Cameron can be the next leader. So the choice is clear. We have a simple choice, and it's more of this. It's not to pull the rug on what we've got with Rishi Sunak, or it's Keir Starmer. Those are the two choices, I'm afraid. That's the pragmatic choice before you. And I know you don't like it. What you'd like it to be is the choice between Rishi Sunak and your perfect incarnation of a nationalist leader. But you don't have that choice. You don't have it. And like I say, it's utter trash analysis from the dissident right that defeating the Conservative Party will get you closer towards getting that. It won't. I don't see that that's even likely. There's no reason to believe that whatsoever. This brand of populist-leaning conservatism since Boris Johnson will be blamed for it, in my opinion. So today, Rishi Sunak's been setting out his vision for Britain, and he makes some good points that we are in a transformational period of the world and for our country in particular and our place in it due to AI. He makes the case in this speech that it is we're like stood before right at this time in history of transformational changes in technology, like when the steam engine was just invented, and what we do in the next few years will be absolutely crucial to the country, and to pull the rug now and swap it for a Labour government run by a slick, sweaty lawyer. Really, well, who knows where we'll end up in that case.
And my point is this. Our country stands at a crossroads. Over the next few years, from our democracy to our society to our economy to the hardest questions of war and peace, almost every aspect of our lives is going to change. And how we act in the face of those changes, not only to keep people safe and secure, but to realise the opportunities too, will determine whether or not Britain will succeed in the years to come. And there is an important choice facing the country. Because despite having 14 years with nothing to do but think about the future, Labour have almost nothing to say about it. No plans for our border, no plans for our energy security, no plans for our economy either, and no principles either. Keir Starmer's gone from embracing Jeremy Corbyn to Natalie Elphicke, all in the cynical pursuit of power at any price. So Labour have no ideas.
By the way, it's an interesting reframing of the 14 years of Conservative government there, to say that Labour have had 14 years to come up with a plan and they don't have one. It's true as well. It's true as well. Okay. Interesting reframing of the meme that's gaining prevalence, that the Conservatives have had 14 years to govern and look at the state we're in. But it's true also, and I think whoever came up with that is pretty clever. And it's true, this guy has no idea what to do. As much as you might hate Rishi.
What they did have, they've U-turned on. They have just one thing, a calculation, that they can make you feel so bad about your country that you won't have the energy to ask what they might do with the incredible power that they seek to yield. Now, I'm not saying that the past doesn't matter. I know people are feeling anxious and uncertain, that their sense of confidence and pride in this country has been knocked. I understand that. I accept it, and I want to change it. But what I cannot accept is Labour's idea that all the worries you have are because of 14 years of Conservative government. That all you need to do is change the people in office and these problems will magically disappear. It's just not true. In the last 14 years, we've made progress in the most difficult conditions.
So he does have a point here. It's the one that I keep trying to point out to you, that to pull the rug on this government now is to pull the rug. And I know many of you disagreed with this, and they're my most controversial and hated videos where I've said, look, we've really only had a couple of years now post a series of huge black swan and black swanish events and huge turmoils that have taken the country successively, from Brexit, COVID, war in Ukraine, and then the mini financial mess of Liz Truss. And now basically Rishi's had, what is it, like a year and a half? And he's not doing a bad job. Okay, he's not doing a bad job. Again, he's not your perfect leader, but you don't have a choice in that. Okay, so the choice isn't between your ideal, nationalist superhero or Rishi Sunak, unfortunately. So you have to look at this pragmatically as the choices that are on the table now. And he's not doing a bad job for the type of guy that he is and the type of party that he is and where he sits now. He's getting the economy back on track, and he's at least leaning a little towards right-wing populist policies, such as attempting to deal with illegal migration in a forceful way against economic pressures and against systemic pressures that are genuinely difficult to deal with.
Keir Starmer supported a former Labour leader who wanted to abolish the army.
Oh, that's the wrong clip, this one.
And yes, the global displacement of 100 million people is a new and defining challenge of our age. But we can and will protect ourselves against illegal migration. Because only we Conservatives have the strength to challenge conventions and do something different about it. Tinkering just won't work. That's why we're pioneering the Rwanda scheme. And so when people see that if they come here illegally, they will be swiftly detained and removed, they will be deterred from making that perilous journey, stopping the boats and saving thousands of lives. Now, I know that our international frameworks are outdated, so there may be flashpoints ahead with the ECHR. And if the Strasbourg court make me choose between the ECHR and this country's security, I will choose our country's security every single time.
So again, this is quite different to what you're going to get under Keir Starmer, which is effectively, when he says, I'm going to clear the backlog of the asylum seekers in this country, I hope you realise that what that means is he's going to grant amnesty to all of those people. Because there's no other way to do that. The infrastructure isn't in place to be able to just clear the backlog without just granting them amnesty. Okay, you can't kick them out due to the European Convention on Human Rights, and the treaties that we're signed up to due to refugee status. So when he says we're going to clear the backlog straight away, he means it's just amnesty for all the illegals. I hope you get that.
And withdraw from NATO. And Labour's current deputy leader, shadow foreign secretary, and many others voted against our nuclear deterrent, the ultimate guarantor of our security. Now, Labour want to pretend that this is all history, ancient history, but it's not, and it should worry us. Because the defence of our country and our values requires seriousness of purpose, moral clarity, and the willingness to make big choices and sacrifices elsewhere to fund it. Either you believe the world is more dangerous, or you don't. Either you have the strength to lead, or you don't. And yes, the global displacement of 100 million people.
Okay, we're back to that. So look, I don't want to go on any longer. All I'm saying is, like, Rishi's grown on me a little. And I'm pragmatic about what the choices are. I honestly believe it's utter trash analysis from the dissident right that you're falling for, that wiping out the Conservative Party will get you a right-wing party reborn in its place. And I don't want to pull the rug on it just yet, because I think a Labour government could be much, much more worse. And when I put my petty racism aside, Rishi Sunak isn't doing a bad job. Okay. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I love reading your comments, even all the ones of you who give me the really tough ones. Okay. You should notice I don't delete them. I even heart many of them. Thanks for doing it. All right. Appreciate you.